He said hi. Is no one going to say hi back to me? All right, you guys can sit down. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what do you think this is? There's Loretta. She's the first one. Loretta gets a gold star if I had one. But I don't. We'll give a little round of applause. Naomi is here. That's awesome. The music seems really loud. Really loud. Isn't it so nice to see these ladies behind me again? For this, the...
It's the Bob Doyle Show.
Okay, I know.
It's the Bob Doyle Show. It's the Bob Doyle Show.
That really seems loud, though.
It's the Bob Doyle Show.
All right, so now what's happening on the internet right now is that my subscribers over here on YouTube, of which if you are not one, this is what you do. You click the subscribe button and you click the bell, right? Everybody's clear on that. All right, so we let the music fade out on its own. I've been cutting it off. Folks, I know, it's been, oh, it's so long, right? It's like, you're just like, Bob, I've watched the playlist on repeat. I've binged the Bob Doyle Show numerous times. I've invited friends and family into this world, and we're all just waiting. Where's the next live? I know. But you know, the Boundless Living Challenge came into my world and just swept me away. Well, not away. I was literally right here in the same spot. But it just said Boundless Living Challenge back there instead of Bob Doyle Show. Now look, I'm not here to get all, Boundless Living Challenge on you. I'm not. Because today, it's a very special Bob Doyle Show. That's right. No, we're not going to tackle the issues of the day unless our guest decides to try, which I'll put the kibosh on that immediately. Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? So, no, we're going to have a guest today, and, well, what do I say about this guy? Well, we're going to find out when he comes and sits down. When I introduce him. Now, you can step into the pre-introduction area now, sir. Some of you already know. That's right. You should see him right now. He's kind of like doing a robot sort of dance. You can step right over here so that when I introduce you, you can scooch on in. But ladies and gentlemen, this is a guy I've known since... Is everybody paying attention, by the way? Look, don't drift away just because you don't know. It's like, oh, this is a wild card. I came here to see Bob. I don't care about the other guy, any other person. Guys, I appreciate that kind of loyalty, but seriously, it's okay to broaden our horizons. So this is a guy I've known since 1991, I believe, and I've mentioned him on this show and certainly referenced him in the past. He and I pretty much invented internet radio. Let's bring him on right now, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome from Atlanta, Georgia, Rob Scott. Rob, it's just great to have you here. How was your flight?
My flight was awful.
Yeah?
Well, you're in a little cube and you sit like this, but it was worth the journey.
Airline travel, am I right, ladies and gentlemen?
There you go.
Oh, so Rob, how do we know one another? We've never met before, right? I'm gonna do a magic trick now. Sir, we've never met before.
No, we've never met before. Yes, we have. We met in 91. You were right about 91.
All right, we met in 91, and that was when we were both working in radio. Now, radio is this thing that used to be like in your cars and in your workplaces and your homes, and you could turn on power, and then you dial this crazy dial with numbers, and then you'd magically lock in some sort of transmission from God knows where. But now, of course, we know that the true source of all music and media is our telephone. So,
wow.
this myth of whatever it was, but no, back then, it was a thing that we do.
Actually, it still is quite powerful.
Really?
Just saying.
I haven't heard too much
since
about
71.
it
It's
yeah,
not.
I don't know. I'm just gonna,
people still get their tunes off the radio.
I'm just gonna have to take your word for it. Okay.
I'm just hawking for the man. I still get a paycheck every 15 days from my employer, and so I have to.
Well, that's the difference between me and you.
Yes. You are wealthy, I am not.
I get a paycheck from your employer every 16 days.
See, this is where you are much more crafty than I.
Oh, well, I stay in practice with a daily Bob Doyle Show.
Bob was producing a morning show on the AM side of the building we were in.
Don't judge.
And I was producing a morning show on the FM side, and that's how we met in February of 91.
How about that? Mind like a steel trap, am I right, ladies and gentlemen? Anyone have any questions for Rob so far? Nope. Well, then we'll move on.
Yeah, I doubt they would.
So yes.
Well, although I wore a clean shirt.
So how deep down into this rabbit hole do we go?
Yeah, up to you. You're
Probably.
the host.
So cut to 10 years later. No. So yeah, we got along well enough.
Right.
You know, we tolerated one another
Through some
for-
music and this and that. But you were right before the introduction. I do believe we invented internet radio.
Yes, yes.
So
I think
we
for
say.
for the purposes of this show, we'll just talk briefly about our broadcast history, because we both were talk radio junkies. Oh, I'm being serious right now. Feels weird. We were both talk radio junkies.
Yes.
You actually opened my world to great talk radio when you introduced Steve and Gary and some of
Kevin
these,
Matthews.
Kevin Matthews
and-
out of the Chicago
Right, out of the Chicago area.
area. That's the word I was looking for. Area. And when I heard that, I was like, wow, I didn't even know you could do talk radio like that. It seemed more like it was either this boring whatever, or you had a Neil Bortz or something, which was different.
Right, but I mean, normally it was, traffic and weather together coming up, and then the news at the top of the hour, and that's not what some of those talk shows that we listened to
No,
in
not
the
at all.
late 80s were
So we
all
took
about.
it upon ourselves when the technology made itself available. There was a service called Live 365. Anybody got our Live 365ers out there? Boy, more than I thought. I gotta say, I'm surprised. So we were able to do a live show, which we called the Lounge Show, for
Yep.
reasons that we just simply do not have the time to get into.
Well, we could tell them quickly.
Fine, just come in here and just run me over. See, this is the way it always is with the show. He always thinks, because I don't know, he introduced me to that kind of radio, that he's like in charge somehow.
I'm not. I just said we could tell them quickly. It was.
See, you're bossing me around. You're trying to direct me on my own show. I thought
I apologize.
I thought we might not have to have that conversation.
apologize.
Sorry, guys, if we just air our dirty laundry. But I mean, seriously,
No,
I think he thinks that I can't manage a show on my own.
I've watched it. It's a fine run show.
See,
You're
he
doing
said
a
fine.
great
We
job.
all know what that means. That means he hates it.
No, and by
He's
the
just
way,
been waiting for the
the
opportunity to come in
studio
here
is
and
so
class
much
it
bigger
up.
than I thought it was when I watch online.
It's vast. We got the whole auditorium seating out there.
And there's an espresso machine back there, and I was
Not
told
just
by
one.
the guys in the green room that there's going to be tap beer eventually, and I'm loving the cut of your jib on that, mister.
To not drink and offer that was not. It was very generous on my part.
I thought
think
so.
it just makes me an outstanding human being.
And it's not
Who
light
else
beer
agrees?
either.
Most of the crowd agrees.
Agreed. It was nice of you.
All right, Bob and Rob, how was it on the strip last night? We had a question from one of our viewers, who I don't know if it's Lisbeth or Lisbeth, but anyway, thank you for your continued following and support on all things I do. The strip, well, we only did the Bellagio.
We did the old strip first.
We
though.
did, yes. We did Fremont Street, and we did the zip lining, which was just spectacular. If I was any kind of show producer, I'd say, and let's go to a clip right now, because that would have been totally possible. I could have taken the time.
Bob kind of wrangled with the 360 camera, and
Yeah,
right before we were to depart, he said, I think this might not be a good idea, and I gave him a thumbs up on that. I thought it best that we just harness in and go.
All right, so we're talking with zipline specialist via satellite, Rob Scott from Ziplines Are Us. Is that the name of your company?
Well, it's a work in progress.
So I had a moral dilemma last night. Hope you can help me out, at least retroactively. I wanted to record my whole journey down the zip line in amazing 4K 360-degree video.
The zip line in the old Vegas Strip, right?
That's correct. I thought that was clear.
Well, no, but I've got several people asking questions all the time, so I have to know the region, the type of angle.
All right.
The
I don't
rate of
think we
descent.
need to waste time having this discussion.
Zip lines are us is important to me. It's a big thing.
All right, whatever. Pride in your work. Whatever. I get it. What was my question again?
You wanted to know about the 360 4K shooting.
Right. So, but there was this sign about no loose objects. So it got in my head, and I thought I'm going to get yelled at if I try to pull out this camera.
Mm-hmm.
And I just didn't, because he was already kind of a yeller.
He was a yeller.
He yelled at us to get on the numbers.
Right. We put that in the brochure for all the people. Ziplines Are Us. We coach these guys how to do this, and they have to be yellers. It's part of the process. It's part of the. They beat you down before they let you soar.
I see. And then on the other side, this guy kind of dressed like a cop.
Yeah.
He's like, step out of the line, stand over here, and it's just to
And he
take the
took your
pictures
picture.
that he's going to try and say.
Yeah,
but
that's
it feels
part
like
of-
you've been arrested for God knows what.
Well, and that was an addition to the manual. That wasn't until last year we put that in. To have the guy with the cop kind of thing.
Oh, right,
going
I
on.
forgot that you were in charge of that. I sort of I forgot.
I got a
that
raise
that I
because of
wasn't just
that.
talking to
I
it.
got a raise because of that.
Well, congratulations on all of your success,
Yeah.
and I wish you at least a week more of it.
Well, let's hope.
All right, let's go back to the studio where we're live with Rob Scott, not via satellite. So, Rob, what do you think of Las Vegas?
Okay, well, gosh.
Try in English would be great.
First of all, it's gorgeous. The southwest area of this country is really, really pretty, and the winds fascinate me. So, from that perspective, the sensory overload that is the strip area and the casinos took me aback. I haven't been here since like 1980 or 81 or something, so it had been a long time since I had been to Vegas, and it has changed considerably. It's much more of a Disney for adults.
And I live here. That's another thing that has changed and made it a better place.
And
that's not me talking. That's all the cards and letters I'm getting from my neighbors and stuff.
when you go to Disney, you get to get this.
Can you hold it up to the camera? Not that it'll autofocus. Although it might.
There we go. I got big.
And
yesterday I was like a 3-year-old, and then Zoltar gave me the card, and Bob and I went ziplining.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened yesterday in a nutshell.
It seemed.
And then we went to the Bellagio, bless you, and saw the fountain show.
Which was wonderful.
Streamed it on Facebook last night for a minute.
Well, it was kind of like Ocean's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Somebody actually commented, "Do I hear Claire de Lune?" Because Facebook took all the music out.
Oh, you told me that at the end. Copyright issues, or
Can you believe it?
the
It was
audacity.
playing Rachmaninoff's whatever it is from the movie Somewhere in Time. Any Somewhere in Timers out there? Wow, more of you than I expected too.
You've got good people listening to this show.
But that's
watching
right,
this
Loretta. No GoPro on the zipline O.
show. But he did contemplate having this piece of fishing wire.
Yeah.
But that seemed like a
Everything seemed just like number one was I didn't want to get yelled at.
no. But also they harness you into this thing. It's kind of intimidating. You're on this little pitch, and they put you in there like they're sending you off to camp or
You
something.
are flying 10 stories above the ground.
Yes.
Although it seems like, really, is it 10?
Well,
That's what they
that
say.
cargo elevator that takes you. It was a lot of fun. We're giving free press to the people who run this outfit, but it was a lot of fun.
That's right. Although we haven't said the name of it, but I guess it's pretty.
I don't know
explanatory.
the name of it.
Yes, you do.
I did not. Oh, Ziplines Are Us?
No. You even mentioned it on the handbag. Remember? They have the
Oh,
logo on it.
yes, the
It's
Gucci handbag.
Slotzilla, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why I'm trying to hide it.
What?
I said it's Slotzilla, ladies and gentlemen.
Well,
I don't know
okay.
why I'm trying
Then
to
give
hide
him the
it.
bell.
I
Give
just
him
Slotzilla.
There you go.
Slotzilla, the one with the slides. They're
that's-
not really
that's
slides.
endorsement bell right there.
They're zipline rides.
It was fun. And to see the types of people that come to Vegas, I don't know why everyone doesn't come here just to people watch.
Yeah, but see, to me, it's uncomfortable. The people who want to be stared at, it's like, I can't. Like, if I glance at them, like, come on, there were some pretty... Like, if you were caught looking at some of these people, people would wonder about you.
Yes.
So it's like you
Grown
almost
men
have
in
to-
diapers, etc. It was an interesting dynamic.
Bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens.
And those were a few of Bob's favorite things last night during the stroll.
Yeah, no, there was. I've got some 360 video of I was.
There's the 360 video.
The chickens are here.
The chickens are here. I'm just checking here real quick. 53 minutes. We got plenty of time.
All right, so we only have 53 more minutes to talk at you.
Well, we
So,
don't.
all right, any more questions for Rob? Anyone at all?
No one's
Just-
asked me a question. Have they asked me a question?
Why would they ask you? a
This is
question?
my
They
thinking.
don't know enough about you to ask a question.
And that's wise of them.
So don't, whatever you do, let's see, what question could you ask Rob?
Well, no,
All right.
I want to say something, if I may.
Oh, for heaven's
No, when you said we invented internet radio, so we did this show.
Oh, yeah, we did.
And we thought we did it forever, not forever, for a long period of time, and then finally we just gave up. It took a lot of time and effort, and when we stopped, we got emails from Japan and England, and
Correct.
we didn't know anyone was following this silliness that
right.
we were doing.
Probably had a bigger audience than this show ever had.
I don't know about that, but
I,
we were flattered. A couple of guys in England said, "You're the reason we're doing this," and they were making all kinds of money. We weren't making any.
he's filling in that blank.
I am
we don't
not
know. Yes, you are.
I
I
am
never
not-
said anything about their income. Never. I just said they.
No, they had a
See, he
sponsor. It was a
takes
paint
the
company.
seed of a story.
It was a paint company.
And by the time it comes out of his mouth, it's an oak tree, a mighty oak of
Homes
story.
all over England were painted with this paint because of their internet show, and you and I should have just stuck around for a minute or two longer, and we could have a paint company sponsoring the old show, which we called The Lounge. Which, by the way, the phrase was,
Have another cocktail.
Life's a bit.
Oh yeah, that too.
We
Have
had-
another cocktail was before we went live with it.
Yeah,
That's right.
Life's a bit. However, Bob had put on all kinds of aprons for grilling
The
and
apron is downstairs under the sink right now.
and spaghetti strap halter tops for women. That didn't sell well, but that's not the point. You had them made.
I didn't have them made.
Yes,
that
you-
was somebody else who had them.
No,
made.
you called them in and you said we need halter tops with spaghetti straps for young ladies to wear Life's a bit across their
Bright copper kettles and
warm woolen mittens.
brown paper packages.
Sorry if I
have
duck
them
away, folks. I'm having a beverage.
These are a few of my favorite things. Yeah, back when we did the lounge show, I won't lie. We had our share of beverages.
Many times, too many.
It was.
But
yeah.
we would do a New Year's Eve show.
This was a long time ago, ladies and germs. This was well. It was 2004.
Is that how
2003,
long?
Yeah.
Now look how polished he is. He's a polished
With cameras, no less. Back then
yeah.
it was just audio.
audio.
Who
And
is-
you can see why.
All right, so we'll fill in the blank again. That Rob is a friend of mine who I met, however many years ago it was, till '91, and he's been in broadcasting this whole entire time, and of course I've been in and out of it. But now since this, yeah, I'd say I'm back in broadcasting.
Yeah, yeah.
If it's-
Not
it's-
only that, you've got your toe in a bunch of little ponds. You're all over the place.
towing a bunch of little.
No,
ponds.
toe in your toe
Okay,
in
I was
a
gonna say, what
bunch.
kind of? I don't know what kind
I
of.
don't know
hookup
how
would
you.
use to-
Yeah, that would be messy at the best. No, you do. You're a media mogul. You're all over your internet, your voiceovers, your acting, your coaching. I'm surprised you had me on this show.
That was ego.
He bought me a six
It's
pack
not
of
like I
beer
didn't
to say that.
regret the decision immediately
To do what?
to have you on the show.
But now you do? You having second thoughts?
Oh no, I had those a long time
Okay.
ago. This would be like the fourth or fifth thought.
All right.
I figure I'll eventually get back around to it was a good idea.
It was a good show, guys. In England, he got a paint contract out of it, all because of us.
Paint contract. You have so filled in this story, but whatevs. It's wired in his brain, ladies and gentlemen.
That's why Bob likes
So
to
Rob,
be.
I hear you tell great jokes. Let's hear one now.
Yeah, that's good.
You should be a stand-up, right? Let's show us some stuff. Be funny right now.
Yeah, right. Tell me a joke, Rob. I can always remember my dad saying, my father was a great storyteller, and he would say, people would come up to tell me a joke, and you don't have any, but if it's in conversation and it trips a little trigger, then you have one. So, no, I have nothing. I've got my Zoltar Speaks card. That's all I... No, actually, I brought more props. I found this on the floor.
Yeah, they've seen that before.
Okay.
This is not...
Have they seen this guy? I found this one, too. This just
if they've looked long enough, these
bouncing
are all...
around. Okay.
these
It's
folks
it's
know.
quite something being here in this studio.
So anyway, in the entire time I lived in Los Angeles, this guy didn't come visit me one time. Lots of promises, but
No, I didn't.
by the way, thanks for honoring my request for not busting my chops on my show.
I didn't bust
as I
your chops.
relentlessly go after you completely unfairly. I'm just acknowledging.
Have I
that.
busted your chops yet?
No, not at all. No, I
No.
appreciate that.
Because it's not the Rob Scott show.
That's right.
It's
you
the
know
Bob
what?
Doyle show, and there's a coffee mug to prove it somewhere.
You know what I forgot?
Back in the green room.
You know what I forgot is at the bottom of the stairs behind that cardboard box. When you said, "What's that?" is the Bob and Rob show sign, which I meant to have.
That would have been kind of nice.
I know. It would have just magically been suspended in this space.
But this is much better. It's got Bob's picture.
That's right.
I'm not good at this
it's
TV
easy.
stuff.
It's don't the weather. No.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a sour. No, so anyway, no, I didn't bust your chops.
No, I know you didn't.
I'm trying to be respectful of the host. Carson always wins. Letterman always wins.
I'm Carson and Letterman in this example.
Right.
In case
I'm
you
Dom
guys, like, lost
DeLuise
track
and
of
an
where we
old
were.
Burt Reynolds who lost his hair. I'm Joey Bishop to your Johnny Carson. I'm Ed Asner.
We have just lost the millennials.
Well, that's okay. They
we
can
don't
have Google.
I don't got no millennials.
They can Google the names and go, wow, that Rob guy was really old.
Well, if they Google Bob Doyle, they get the information. There's my picture, and it says I'm 82 years old.
Does it really?
Is this right, ladies and gentlemen? Again, they all
Wow.
in agreement.
I bet you they're saying, I could be wrong, but I bet you're saying it's been so long since Bob's been on the air, we can't wait for him to get back, and then he brought in this tired old guy named Rob. I might be the Danforth anchor to this ship of dreams that you're...
Jeez, are you listening to the what of the huzzas? It's
I could
nonstop.
look it up. the damn fourth anchor to this ship of dreams that you're steering in the wheelhouse there,
That's
mister.
right. That's because that's our motto here on the Bob Doyle Show. Look it up.
Look it up.
You don't know what I'm talking about? Look
Right.
it up.
There you go.
It's your lack of paying attention if you don't understand what
Did you
I'm
tell
up
him
to.
that we took a nice walk in the wilderness today?
You were sitting right here, did I?
No, I was back in the green room just figuring out where that keg's going to go.
First of all, it's not full on green. It's like forest.
Well, they call it a green room, us in showbiz. It's not forest green at all. It's actually kind of a beige. It looks like a Howard Johnson's paint
Why don't you
job.
just give everybody my address?
Because I'm not quite certain what it is. Every few weeks you move. Which
Well, I
is
try
it
and
brings
move.
up questions, by the way, but I don't want to go there because you said don't bust my chops on the show. Don't talk about the indictments. Never convicted. Don't talk about these things. Leave me be. Let me be who I am to my peeps, my people,
All right, this is all fair. I totally asked for this.
my followers.
I see all these people looking at the recording of what we did, the pre-show, but not over here.
That means that I
But they're
screwed
missing
everything
out,
up.
am I right, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, they're missing out. We've just had 21 minutes and 21 seconds exactly. By the way, I looked at it exactly 21:21:21. So we've got some sort of crazy alignment. So make a wish right now, ladies and gentlemen. Close your eyes, count to 3, click your heels together. There's no place like home.
And you have to spit. You have to turn around 3 times and spit.
Well, I don't have to.
That's,
I want to.
That's what they say, and I don't know who they are, but they say turn around 3 times and spit. When my dad would drive down the road and a black cat would cross the road, he would literally turn his hat around 3 times. It was bad luck if you didn't. I have no idea, but I'm thinking it's more bad luck if you're concentrating on this more than driving a car, but this was just...
Logic would dictate, but you know, we are not our parents.
No, and they will tell us the same thing.
That's right. If we let them talk, but luckily we just shut them down immediately.
Yeah. just give me money and leave me alone.
That's right. Your work is done. That's a horrible path we just went down.
No, it's fine. It's just, parent humor.
I just blame society. It's so easy.
I blame
They're-
the internet.
Sure, absolutely.
Everyone should still be using some
Are
sort
we
of...
still on commercial break?
I-
We're not back.
Oh, is this live?
No.
I thought this was practice. You
No, I
said,
think
come
this
in,
is
we're going to
the-
practice the first show, and then I'll have you on for the real thing next.
Yeah, I might have said that to fool you.
Well, you did good, because I was completely befuzzled.
So, Rob,
Yes, I'm waiting for...
what are you doing today? Well, not today, but these days. I mean, our show went away, which was, it was sad, but it had to happen.
Yeah, well, it did because I didn't feel like making the drive across
And so the
town.
world has just been swimming in the sea of mediocrity. In
No,
the
your
absence,
show's
in
here.
Up until the Bob Doyle Show.
Right.
Okay. But we have toyed with the idea of bringing back the lounge show. We could certainly do it in this format. You could be remote, just exactly like we did just then, except you'd be at your place in Atlanta. It wouldn't say the Bob Doyle Show. It'd say the lounge show, and there'd be a logo of
The
a
lounge.
martini glass. I
The
did it
martini
already.
glass.
I've already got it done.
Oh, do you have it?
I've got it done. It's not set up in this particular show profile, though. So I'm really sorry. You're just going to have
The
to
other
do
thing I liked about our show is we would play a song from time
Yes,
to
that was part of it.
But it was radio. It was a radio show. It wasn't visual. So every now and then we'd play a song, and it might be 3-4 minutes, and that gave us time to maybe go to the restroom and grab another beer. There was a lot of drinking on that show. And your rest in peace. We even had a show dog.
We did. Lounge Dog.
Lounge Dog was a good dog.
Mm-hmm.
And Bob would take pictures of Lounge Dog, and we had a
We had a website for the show.
We
It
did. We had
was,
Skippy the producer and Janitor John, I think.
Well, actually,
No.
I'm
No.
not going to go there.
It wasn't Janitor John.
But now I'm realizing how that would so not fly.
It
now.
wouldn't at all. No, it wouldn't at all.
I'm not going. I'm not.
It's
gonna
like a
tell you.
Calgon commercial. It won't work anymore.
But as he was asking me, what was his name, and we had a name, and it was like, oh my God, we couldn't do that. now.
No. He was the custodian of the radio station, and he would come in and visit us from time to time.
It's really not that bad, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just saying that in today's
Just
world, it would not fly. But oh my God! And so yeah, his voice was affected.
Yes.
The whole bit was.
it was
wrong.
it was right for the time. It was
Oh my
right
God,
for the
no,
time.
I totally forgot about it.
It's
just
like
how-
advertising cocaine in the 1930s. It was right for the time.
Okay, well, anyway.
Yeah, Janitor John, I think his name
Sure,
was.
we'll go with Janitor John.
I think that's what it
It
was.
wasn't.
Oh, that's right. We could never do that again. We'll go with Janitor John. But he was a nice guy.
I think he was. I don't remember anymore.
He was pleasant. The door would knock. He'd come into the studio with a
I
creaky
don't
sound.
know. No. I think you're conflating.
Conflating.
Yeah, I don't think we did. We didn't do those morning show sound effects.
A word, by the way, that Bob has used several
lot.
times over the past 3 or 4 days.
I've firmly incorporated it into
Conflating is a biggie. Bob likes
Guys,
that word.
I hear you breathing, but you're not saying a word. Just say anything.
Wow, that's a good line.
I can do this all day. You know, I don't have
Well,
to.
they're probably tired of me.
I know, well,
Seriously, you have a good following. This works well. It's successful. But it was kind of you to bring me on. Just
no.
because I
lost a bet, Rob. That's
I'm
the only
selling
reason.
a book, and that's why Bob brought me on.
Well, shall we go ahead and talk about it?
I have no book. I barely read books, let alone write them. I just wanted to be, and
You're
there
not
it
the-
is.
You're not the author of Follow Your Passion, Find Your... Oh, wait, no. That says Bob Doyle on there. Okay, well, my mistake.
Endorsement bell.
That bell serves multi-purposes. Remember to
Well,
subscribe.
normally it's about subscribing to you.
and click the bell, just like it says. If it's in print, it's true on the internet. We know this
Well, yeah.
to be a scientific fact.
I
All
still
right, there
can't
you
get
go.
around.
Loretta said, "Ha ha." Thank you, Loretta. We do when we don't when we will or we won't.
You want to run that again?
Yeah.
I would run that
When
again.
we broadcast on Facebook, we can see hearts and all the responses, but we do not have that luxury. So if you're enjoying it, you have to type clap or type LOL.
Well, or maybe they'll come back hours later after digesting the situation and say that really was good or bad or what
Well,
happened.
I'm sure every single one of these is going to go into the Hall of Fame, the Broadcasting Hall of Fame.
Maybe not when I was here, but I've seen some of your stuff before I came into this studio.
Like the David Paul episode. Now
That's award-winning.
let's see, if you saw my David Paul
David
show
Paul.
interview, he knows David Paul. And in fact, Rob was an instrumental character in what I think is one of the classic bits. We made up a fake commercial for a tavern that had just opened
Yeah.
called
The flow on in.
the Flow On In, right? So that
Wasn't
was our,
it? I think
that
it
was our. We did a. Okay, so this is multi-layered. I don't know if I can explain.
And
it.
Major Market. We were
You
in
know
Market
what?
8
I'm
at
not
the
even gonna
time.
try.
But anyway, I represented the flow on in, or I was an attorney.
We had made up the name Flow On In, and allegedly there was a real flow. No, Flow In, whatever, one or the other. The fake commercials.
And you
This
know,
is
here's the
exhausting.
shtick. Bob and David Paul created this great bit where there was this place and everyone should go, and then as the bit was dying after a few days, they
Well,
decided
no,
to...
we started really trashing the name of the place. Like we were advertising, come on into the Flow On In, you know, and and
Flow
then
On
you know they'll steal your luggage or whatever. I don't remember what it was, but we really painted a progressively
Your
not good
life's
picture of this.
dreams will be realized. at
He
the-
played a guy named Gary Zinner who actually owned a place called Flow In,
That's it.
right? And the first time you call and say, "Hey guys, you know, I know you're just
Clowning
having fun,
around,
but it's very close to the real name of our company, and so you know we really would prefer it
I'm
if you
losing
didn't."
money. I can't
Yeah.
send my kids to school.
Well, you got there, but the first one was, but then we said, okay, we won't do it anymore, and then we kept doing it, and it kept getting progressively worse, and so he would call in more and more angry
yes.
as the owner,
As Gary Zenner.
Gary Zinner, like this was a time in our broadcast history where we were pushing the limits of what you could say.
As best we could.
Yeah, and so you know we were using words that we would never say here on the Bob Doyle Show, even
No.
then. But the whole thing was a bit, like the not just the bit, but then it was reality humor or something. It was very special, and that's why you know I interviewed David Paul and then felt this weird obligation to now talk to him.
Who, me?
Yeah.
It's because I'm in town.
That's it.
You had no other choice. I would have banged on the door and pestered you forever.
Anybody who comes into town, they're on the show. It's kind of like I have to do it.
It's
Part of-
comfortable here, and they're putting in a half barrel. I would highly recommend you be a part of the Bob Doyle Show, if for no other reason than free beer. And there were cookies too. I didn't have a chance because I don't want to have that taste in my mouth before you do a show. But yeah, there's cookies and beer. Bob Doyle Show's doing pretty good. Our lounge show, we had old crackers and maybe water for our guests. This is something you got here. This is you've done well for yourself.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here basking in the gratitude for the life I've created.
Well, you should. Yeah. It's hard. No one gets there easy. Bob worked hard, and now look at him. Just look at him.
Don't look too close.
Well,
Just that close.
and I got to tell you, it
Right.
has been. Oh,
There. I forgot we had the close-up.
Ooh. Ooh.
All right. Look, it's been 30 minutes and 11 seconds. We're late already.
Has it really been that long?
We can wrap this up.
I am very grateful that you had me on the show.
All right, that's an agreement from our guest that it's time to end this. Of course, we got into really nothing.
That's what you said we were going to talk about.
I guess I did. I don't know what.
Your producer in the green room said you're going to talk about nothing. Just let Bob steer the ship of dreams, and just go with it.
Yeah. Well, then that's what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for making an entry in your diary to commemorate the return of this incredible broadcast phenomenon called the Bob Doyle Show with our featured guest, Rob Scott, all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. We'll catch you next time.
It's the Bob Doyle